Kia ora. Welcome into the forum where we've got a jam-packed show to get through with plenty of action right across the country this weekend, including, of course, the feature, the Great Northern Stakes out of Ellerslie. So to talk about all the action, we've got the full team back in, including you, Leith Innes. A pleasure to have you back, and Aidan Rodley.
Yeah, look, I had a great day at Whanganui last week. Great racing and some good winners there too.
It's great to have you back, Leith. The show fell to pieces without you here last week.
Yeah, apparently so. It was all downhill, but hopefully we get it right today.
Yeah, no, good to have you back, and some really good racing to concentrate as well on this weekend, Pip.
Yeah, there really is. As I say hello to you, Bevan Sweeney. Of course, we look forward to the Whanganui Cup, and we've got more action out at Otaki as well on Sunday.
Yeah, I'd love to say it's great to have Leith back. And I'd love to say it's great to have Leith back. Yeah, it was an interesting show last week. And where are your priorities, Leith? Golf over the show. Come on, let's lift a little bit. This is very, very important. I think me and Aidan covered nicely for you, but I hear there was a bit of an issue with the golf anyway, and you didn't quite pull off the victory.
No, golf was good. We lost by a couple of shots, but it was a good event and good days out.
Okay, we'll leave the golf chat and we'll have a look what's coming up as far as the horse racing goes. We'll be starting with that feature out of Ellerslie, the Great Northern Challenge Stakes, having a look at the undercard there as well, including the listed Trevor and Coralie Eagle Memorial. Then we'll be heading to the River City where we take a look at the Whanganui Cup. We also head to Otaki, the Levin meeting there. We've got the Wellington Stakes to look forward to, and of course our usual segments. So let's start with the feature, heading off to Ellerslie, and so far the weather this week up in the city of Sales, Leith, has been really good. What are we expecting on the weekend?
Yes, Pip. Look, we had a couple of little showers this morning. Obviously, the track's in that out 4 metres. Look, there's a couple of little showers coming through, but, you know, come race day, we're going to probably start on a good 4, maybe after race 1 or 2, and upgrade to, you know, if it starts a soft 5, good 4.
One thing
what
we
we're
know
going to get
about Ellerslie is they will always start on a soft 5 no matter what, and they'll just, you know, put the water on to get there. And yeah, like you say, it's a hot day on Saturday, so it should play really well like Ellerslie does these days.
Well, let's take a look at the market for the feature, and you can see Al Vencedor heads the betting at $1.65 clearly from Meaningful Star at $6, and then Mary Shan at $6.50. So Sweens, I mean, no surprise to see him this short with what he did last start.
Yeah, there's no real surprise in this market, and I don't think there's any real surprise on what we're going to see on Saturday. 165, the big EV was very good last time. Mary Shan's probably getting a bit firm 4. And I just can't see anything else rolling him on Saturday. Leith, he looks the one, and the one short price that'll go through every multi in the land.
You'd think so, Bevan. Look, the race looks like there's going to be a nice, genuine tempo. Ellison Fields from barrier 3. You say Dorso maps would be handy, and you got EV. It'd be interesting if they want to lead or sit outside lead or take a sit on him. Sort of Mary Shan maps to get a nice run just in behind the speed, and Meaningful Star, Habana probably going to land in that midfield section.
Okay, well, let's take you back to Al Vencedor last start in the Balmerino Stakes, and he just was a class above this day, Aidan. He was backed in to be unbeatable, and that was the case.
It was soft in the end. It's just really a clinical win from a horse who loves getting to Ellerslie. He's been there on 9 occasions for 6 wins, a couple of minor placings, and look at his, you know, he's 113 rater. He's got 59 to carry. Under normal handicap conditions, he'd be giving Meaningful Star 7.5 kilograms, not 3. So I don't think he's badly placed in this whatsoever.
Obviously, it's a good ploy by Stephen Marsh too to take him back to Ellerslie. Obviously, we've got the Wait for Age TAB mile on Saturday at Wellington. He loves Ellerslie, so why not take him back there? He's on the race form as well.
The last time he took him there for a 1600 metre race, he came out and won an Otaki Māori Wait for Age Classic Group 1 when no one expected him to. You know, he's just flying this horse, so yeah, why not?
What do you reckon, Sweens? Can they beat him?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Mary Shan's clearly very talented, but I do think it might be getting on the firm side for Mary Shan. Meaningful Star's going all right in the race. Is probably an improver over the next couple of runs, but if I needed to answer in one word, it would be no.
Okay, well, let's hear from his trainer then, Sweens.
Oh, he's doing super. He looks great. He's finally got rid of his winter coat. He's been holding on to that for a little bit longer than we'd hoped, but he presents a better horse, and he's just flying.
Yeah, pretty soft last time out. What have you done with him training since?
Yeah, haven't had to do much with him. He had a nice gallop on Saturday morning. Wednesday this morning, he's had his final piece of work. I thought his work was great. He's just he's low flying at the moment and gets back to his favourite track. Back to a mile's fine. He's freshened up well and can't wait.
What did you ask of him in training today?
He just worked over 1200 by himself. he's a pretty good track worker. The sort of the deeper he gets into a preparation, the sharper he is. And I thought watching him work, not super fast on the clock, but to the eye was amazing. So, yeah, I think he goes into it as good as we've had him this prep.
Okay, he's a multiple Group 1 winner, obviously reigning horse of the year. Any concerns leading into this one?
No, no concerns actually. He's sound, he's happy, he looks great, feels great, and he's going back to his favourite track. So, no, all systems go.
Doesn't get much better than that if you want to take the $1.65 with those comments from Stephen Marsh.
Yeah, certainly. The horse is flying at the moment, as we all know. Look, he loves the track. $1.65's on the short side, but at 59 kilos, he's a big horse. He carries it so easy too.
Normally we don't see that glint in the eye of Stephen Marsh, but he just...
Well, he's been awake sick for a little while though, so...
That's why I did ask him, was there any concerns? Was there something that we could just say there's a little chink in his armour, but he just doesn't seem to be. Like last preparation, he won 4th up and was soundly beaten 5th up in the old Captain Cook in the TAB Classic, but I just think he's a different horse now, and he's going so well, and... I just can't see him beaten here.
Now, one of the rivals that is hoping that isn't the case, of course, is Meaningful Star. And we'll take you back to the Group 2 Tauranga Stakes. And look, I thought he was really good here, and he won't know himself either with the 56 kilos.
No, exactly, Pip. Obviously, he won this race last year as well, and he won the race with 55, so he gets in with 56. Look, he's had a few fitness runs. This is a really good run. It was, weight for age. So if there was one to come out and maybe beat El Vencedor, you definitely have the source in your tickets. Top 3 anyway.
It's just that last year there was no horse of El Vencedor's.
We've got to
quality
remember
in
that
there.
race was, 15:30 as well? If it was
Yeah.
a mile, he might have won.
Yeah, so it obviously going really well. The Tauranga run's a nice form recommendation, but he's got to come up against El Vencedor. While I expect him to run well, I just can't see him winning this.
I just can't see Meaningful Star sitting 2-3 lengths off El Vencedor and running past him, albeit it's going really, really nice here and in good nick. So I just can't get past El Vencedor. Even with Mary Sham putting up this performance at Tauranga where it shot through on the inside. Good ride by Warumu on the day. He gets him with the 53, but as Aidan mentioned, this horse is 20 rating points behind El Vencedor. So there's 10 kilos that would normally be between them in a true handicap and the mare's allowance, so probably even more. So she's a very good mare. Her record on firm ground is just not there. So whether this form can turn it around, I'm personally not convinced, lads.
Yeah, exactly. And by race 8, that track's going to be pretty firm as well. She just needs that little bite in it. But look, she's in good form at the moment. If there was, 53 kilos, she's gifted at the weights.
Yeah, obviously some sort of chance because she is class, and she's racing really well. I thought there were a couple of eye catches there. I thought Usay Dorso was okay in running 3rd.
Yeah.
And the horse who's probably going to be improving into this is Nereus. He's now got the run under his belt, but once again I think they're fighting for minus.
OK, well, let's hear from some of those connections, and we'll start with Andrew Forsman and just see how Mary Shan is tracking.
She's going really good. We got her campaign back on track with a good win at Tauranga last time, and clearly a big step up in company on Saturday, but she's up to it.
Yeah, she's obviously racing really well, 2 out of 3, and goes into this one in decent form. What have you done with her in training?
Not too much. She had a gallop on Saturday morning. She'll have one good final gallop Wednesday morning, and yeah, I think she operates a little bit better on the fresh side, so that should suit.
Oh, he's going very well, Aidan. Yep.
What have you done with him in training leading into this one, mate?
Oh, he's done a bit of good speed work yesterday morning. He's pretty well, but yeah, he's up against it in that sort of field, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking up against the reigning horse of the year and others as well. But what could you expect in that company?
I think him running the first 5, I'd be really happy. Yeah.
Yeah, very happy with both of them. Marjan's first run back after a long time. He's trialled up super at Ellerslie and actually loves the place. But he had the expedition gallop with Tempest Moon at Tauranga a couple of weeks ago. Couldn't be happier with him. And Sam Nereus, his first up run at Tauranga the other day was quite good. He hit the line quite good, well.
Yep. Obviously, Marjan, we know he's a staying horse. Will he need more time than this weekend?
Yeah, as I said, it's been a long time between drinks, but he'll probably be hitting the line good. There's a lot of good horses in that race, and he's had one trial to prepare and a good few expedition gallops, but he still runs fresh well. So.
Yeah. We know the potency and capabilities of Nereus. How's he come up this preparation?
Very happy with him. He actually, after his winter campaign in Brisbane, came back and he spelled very well, and he's in great form. He's like these old horses; they just love coming back into it and just doing it all over again.
Yeah, how forward is he?
Yeah, he's right up there. He'll run a cheeky race, race over a mile, but at the same time, there's a couple of good ones in the race. So yeah, we'll probably see the best of him when he hits 2,000 metres a bit more.
There you go, so maybe just wait a little bit on Nereus. For us, though, we have to get a selection in, and I have a feeling I know who it'll be.
Look, there's a little bit of respect. Mary Shan, look, meaningful star, you say Dorsey, but I'm picking they're going to be running for second this week.
Yep, I'm the same. The big EV on top for me. I think he'll just extend his Ellerslie record, and it would be a big surprise if he was beaten.
Well, he'll run through every country in the every multi in the land on Saturday at $1.65. I'm not even sure that'll stack up Pip going into race start time.
Just jump on, I think, and take the 165. That's what I'm hearing as I get you to a break here on the form. Don't go far. We'll be previewing the undercard very shortly. Welcome back into the form. Before we do touch on the rest of Ellerslie, we've got our black bookers for you to follow. Leith, who have you got for us this week?
Look, I'm going to take you back to last Saturday, Pip, the Counties Cup. There was a few unluckies in this race. There was probably about 4 rides that were excellent, and there was a few rides that were a little bit questionable on a slow tempo, and no one really took advantage of it. I thought Sharp and Smart, he had 59 kilos. For him to get out late and sprint as good as he did, I think he'd be winning the Waikato Cup in 3 weeks' time, sorry. He's flying the source, 2,400 metres. He's only going to get the top weight of 59 kilos, but he'll be going very close in the Waikato Cup.
He's my favourite horse, Sharpie, so hopefully you're right there too, Leith. I was taken by a couple of runs in this race. I thought Moxie was terrific in winning, but the horses scooted through along the inside where there weren't huge amounts of eye catches through the day. There was Old Bull Bone, who runs the quickest last 800 of the race, is yet to finish. Well, this is the first time I think he's finished worse than second. I actually thought he had run second on the program. So he's one I'm going to be following through. I think he'll only improve off that run.
I'll highlight one from New Plymouth last week in Satria in the Sir Peter Valier colours for Alan Sherrick. Got held up for quite a decent part of the straight. Once it gets across heels and gets a crack at them, it does fly late to go very close to winning this race, and it shouldn't be too far away from a win next up.
And I'll take you back to Pukekohe with the Auckland thoroughbred breeders here, Jaffe. Just for a moment, you can see it gets held up, but has the best closing sectionals of the race to run into third. Just prior to this, Warren just got stuck in behind a runner and has had to pull him out wide and really hit the line strong. So despite it being a really good horse, it's probably going to end up in a very good race. I thought it was a run to follow. Here's a summary of our black bookers. You can see them all down the bottom if you want to note them down and follow them. We've had a few of these land lately too, so fingers crossed that continues. From there, we're going to concentrate now on Ellerslie, and the listed feature first up we'll be taking a look at here is the Trevor and Coralie Eagle Memorial, where Towering Vision is an open favourite at $4.50, from Happy Zane to the max at $6.50, and then Oretta Beauty there at $7.50. It looks like a bit of value in this race, Swings.
Oh, I just thought it was very even, this race. I sort of defaulted back to a horse that had been going around for a while and Faultless at $8.50, but I did like what To The Max did at its most recent start, so there's some value there. Towering Vision, I thought was a really good effort behind Affirmative Action last time, and Happy Zane has the runs on the board to suggest not too far away from the top liners, so pretty even sort of go this, Leith.
Look, I think the key to the race is Peter and Sean Mackay. They've got 2 runners that can both lead. One's drawing barrier 1, one's drawing the outside. So, look, I can see them jumping out, crossing each other and then slamming on the brakes a little bit. So I don't think they'll go overly hard in the race. Look, Unrestrained's going to get a nice run. Pacific Breeze, Towering Vision's got a nice gate. And then it gets a little bit ugly here where Happy Zane, To The Max, Oretta Beauty, they're going to have to get a spot somewhere. So it's a little bit of a tricky map, I thought.
Okay, well that's how it maps. Let's take you back to one of the key lead-ins, of course, here behind Affirmative Action. So that form looks super sweet. It's obviously Faultless has raced again since the second just last week at Whanganui. You were on track. What did you make of the effort?
Oh, he was disappointing because he sat outside the leader in that race, and Passiflora, who's not very big but pretty quick and pins the ears back, but he didn't find a lot. He was coming back and tripped from the 14 to the 12. He goes back this way of going at Ellerslie, and I don't think there's anything that's going to take the lead off him. I think he's more comfortable there. I think he's a great value for you. Tearing Vision, I was pretty impressed with that horse, fresh up for the Walker Burgesson team as well. I think that is a real improver second up where the horse is a winning chance. But I'm expecting Faultless to sort of bounce back, lads.
Yeah, look, he's got a liking for that firmer track at Ellerslie as well. He was well ridden last start. From barrier 1, it gives Craig so many options. He sort of does map to get a pretty easy lead, I thought.
I think the step to the 15 is key to him. That's going to be his big friend here. Out of that race, it was messy. There was definitely a race that favoured those on speed, the first 4 and running, first 4 home. And that's why I'm giving Towering Vision a bit of a hope out of that. Was good sectionally, came from a long way back to run 5th and behind them. But this is a really even race. I think there'd be, you could find.
I thought the run out of the race was Happy Usain. Obviously,
another horse who got back. And
I thought he was the best run in the race from barrier 9. It's good that Sam McNabb gets another turn for the Pike Stable at a reasonable race as well. So, look, obviously there's no claims listed. 3 of them, he's been doing the hard work, so good on him.
Yeah, and we'll have a look at him shortly. But first we'll head to track work and just catch up. Firstly with Peter Mackay and just see what he thinks about Faultless last start.
No, I got very grumpy after the race. I think Leah sort of timed it right nice. She just eased them up, and he was sitting pulling pretty hard outside and choking himself. Yeah, he should have, as soon as they slowed the pace, should have shot straight round and led up. But anyway, he need that run down there. He gets a bit feisty, but if it's too long between runs. So it's cleaned him up good. He's come back from there, hadn't lost any weight, and hopefully we're pretty happy going into Saturday.
Yeah, how's his training been leading into this weekend?
Yeah, good. Like he had, he'll have a gallop tomorrow. As he had the trip down to Whanganui and that, but it's hardly really tightened him up. But it has made him settle down a bit in his actions. He just can get a bit above himself.
Yep. Los Santos to the same race. What can you tell us there?
Yeah, he's a horse that probably should have won a maiden race easy enough. Last start he led up, and then he's put 3 on them on the corner without Craig moving, so Craig's gone and put 5 lengths on him, and then he's all of a sudden spotted the winning post and started to pull himself up. He's sort of a horse that probably needs to take a sit on something and gradually get there. He doesn't like it once he sees too much daylight, but he's improving with every run, and I think he's going to be a pretty handy horse.
He's come through that first up run really well. The step up and trip the 1500 will be ideal for him. Probably still a bit short of his best, but he finds himself in a very winnable race, so hoping for a good draw.
What have you done with him in training leading up to this weekend?
We've kept him pretty fresh. He keeps himself pretty fit naturally, so he hasn't done a hell of a lot in between times, but his work on Tuesday morning, Woodamu Pin came in and worked him, and he was really pleased with him.
Yeah, look, I think he was really impressive at Rotorua. He relaxed really nicely and was very strong to the line. The way he relaxed in the run suggests that going to 1500 is not going to be any issue, and he seems to be in good order.
How's he come through it?
Yeah, he's come through it well. He looks good. He hasn't had to do a lot. It's only 2 weeks between runs, so he's just had the one piece of work this morning, but work was nice, and we look forward to seeing him at Stakes Company.
You look really pleased with the maiden. Probably hasn't had the best of luck in his last 2 runs. Probably should have finished a lot closer at Tauranga. Just got quite badly held up turning in. So, look, he's trained on nicely. He's run well up there previously, and I think he'll be hard to beat.
Yeah, sectionally both times the same. That he is running really well. Is that reflected in his training?
Yeah, for sure. He's always been a very promising 3-year-old. He just sort of needs things to fall his way. We did think about going south for the Guineas, but probably in hindsight it was a good move to start there with the way the weather turned out. But look, if he gets a bit of luck finally on Saturday, I think he'll be right in the finish.
And he mentioned this run here at Tauranga, and he does get held up but just after this point, but he runs third and behind two very nice horses.
Yeah, really nice run, and obviously we'd seen that from the race that Leith was sort of saying, you know, the sectional's really good that day, and again, you know, he just seems to be going well. He's hitting the line nicely. We saw the ability from last preparation, so he's in a sweet spot for this, and yeah, he's definitely in contention in a group of horses that are.
Yeah, he was held up at a vital period on that track. I think getting back to Ellerslie is going to suit him. It's just that gate, barrier 9, is a little bit tricky. Look, you've got to have him in your top 3 though.
I want to keep a real big eye on this horse as we get into sort of derby trips. I think this horse is developing really nicely. Blind Freddie could see that he got held up at an awkward spot at Tauranga, back at Ellerslie. Leith's right, in my mind, that this horse is going the right way to be capable of winning, just if it can overcome that gate.
And that is the question mark as we take you now to Andrew Forsman's run ahead to the max. And this was a really eye-catching performance on the day. He's come up the inside here and he's had the best closing sectionals.
Yeah, look, obviously he was really good. He had a nice inside gate. It's hard to do this, though, to come off the speed on the inside there at Rotorua. Look, by all accounts, he's trained on really well. He's another one. Barrier 8's a little bit tricky, but it's great to see Joan Egan and the colours out winning as well.
Yeah, and Roger James, Robert Wellwood, they normally have a horse that they can get ready for derbies further down the track as well. They've had good success with horses in these colours in the past as well. The one thing about that, there was quite a weak maiden race, and this is a step up.
Oh, I disagree. I think Too Darn Sweet will be winning on Sunday. I think it had a bit of merit, that maiden. His first up run was super as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Too Darn Sweet got served up to on the day as well from memory by a horse that sat outside it and just wouldn't give it any peace. So that horse has got good ability. Got the perfect split with the rail out, but had to take advantage. The Purin Kentos generally improve with time, so hey, like it was a good win, wasn't it? So hard to count this horse out of its chances today on Saturday.
Absolutely, Swains. Right, it's selection times now. Lethal?
Yeah, I'm with Robert Wellwood and Roger James. Their horses are flying at the moment. Tuva Max, it's an even field, but yeah, I think he can win at good value on Saturday.
Oh, geez, I'm going to go against you on that because there hasn't been one placed horse out of the race since then. It was half a second slower, so 3 lengths slower than the other maiden, 12:30 on the day. So I found it a really difficult race. So maybe it is the type of race where one of those could pop up. I just stuck to the top of the book, and that meant the Towering Vision went on top for me.
I'm just expecting Faultless to bounce back. It was interesting when he walked into the birdcage at Whanganui. He was really on toe and really looking to rip, and that was coming back in trip, so I thought fresh enough, but yeah, like I'm not sure he was going well enough to go around and take the lead off Passiflora, so I thought he was disappointing late, but I think going back to this way at Ellerslie, up and trip to the 1,500 metres and with a great gate, he should be pretty tough to beat on Saturday.
Okay, so everybody's split in the listed races. We now take you to the open 1,300 metres, race number 4 on the program here. With Super Photon is paying $3.40 back in fresh. Moss Invader at $4.50, and then you've got Frost Fair at the $4.80, and I think they've got this market pretty bang on.
Yeah, I think so. It's a strong open 1,300 metres. It's a good race. Vegas Crean's back from a little injury, and she's had a trial under her belt. First 5 was good last start. And Moss Invader was really good.
Speaking of, let's take a look at him last start. And this was a day where it really did favour on-speed runners, and he was booming home here to run second.
Yeah, look, he had a little bit of a tough gate. His barrier 8, he's got out rolling, and he nearly got the win. Look, his closing sectionals are the best in the race as well, and there's something about this horse. He could be sort of rich or mile, so his barrier 1 this week, he's going to get a nice cosy spot just behind the speed.
Yeah, there's some nice runs in here as well. So, like, it's again another straightforward race. The horse who's impressed me out of that is Pour the Wine, especially from what we saw last Saturday. I think Pour the Wine has been a big improver and maybe just has overtaken those other two. I'm just not too sure. Obviously, Moss Invader's got real ability though.
It just depends whether the inside gate for Moss Invader in my mind is a real positive, because he doesn't tend to muster too much early. If he can take advantage of that, I think out of that meeting at Tauranga, everyone in the land is picking those horses that ran on, and this is one of those that clearly did. It was fresh, second up. This horse is a winner. 1,300 metres is not going to stop Moss Invader, is it, boys? But gee, I was impressed with that performance. It really suggested there's a decent and a really strong group win in this horse going forward.
And then what about this horse? Of course, very good as a 3-year-old, comes back now for his 4-year-old season. What did you make of this trial?
Look, he goes really good fresh up pip. His trial was massive. Look, he's won at Ellerslie before. No, he hasn't, sorry. Look, he had 2 runs in Melbourne. They took him over there and he didn't go bad. He had big weights. He went okay. He goes so good fresh. And barrier 2 with the lightweight of 54 kilos, he's got to be a top 2 chance.
Yeah, I think we expected more of him over there, though, didn't we? We expected him to be competitive. He wasn't in the highest company. So, yeah, the trial was good. But, you know, sometimes those trips will make a horse. But, I don't know. I'm just. I want to see him.
He's one of those. He's won 4 races from 11 starts.
Yeah.
So
he's a high quality horse.
I was surprised that he was favourite, maybe.
I got to agree as well.
Look, he's trolled up. He's super well.
Yeah, good horse, coming back fresh up. I'm just going to stick with a little bit of horses that are already up and going. Look, I think Frost Fair's improving. That horse has got good ability. Pour the Wine, as Aidan mentioned, is not too far off them. First 5 is second up. Moss Invader was great. So for me, I'm going to go with Moss Invader. I was super impressed with that. 1,300 metres is not going to stop the horse, but I think second up they can have another run round with the horse that's won second up. Matt will have to use that gate to some degree to get the horse in the right spot, but if he gets his chance, Moss Invader looks to me as though it is flying.
Yeah, look, I'm with Moss Invader as well. There's probably 4 or 5 winning chances in the race. Just landed on him from barrier 1, and second up record's good. And I'm happy with the $4.80.
I'm going to go from the same race, but I'm going Pour the Wine. He's had 2 runs since that race, and he was making ground, as Bevan said, on a day where he couldn't. Quickest last 8, 6 and 4 last week at Pukekohe. That was a very big run in the Counties Bowl, so drops back in grade. Vinnie Colgan on, so I thought there's a lot of upside at a double-figure price around Pour the Wine.
Okay, like it. Now from there, we need something else to back on the program. Leith, what should it be?
I'll take you to race 2, Pip. Navy Enzyme. Look, he's had 2 runs as a maidener. He's running really strong fields. He's probably short enough at $2.40, barrier 11. But look, if there's enough speed on, I think he's well deserved to get a win on Saturday.
I've found one that obviously comes with a reputation, but every time we talk to Chad Ormsby, he's big on have a crack. It's a really strong race. It's a race with a little bit of depth, but geez, you just talk to Chad and you get this massive confidence boost around him. So have a crack for race 7 for mine.
I'm going to be in race 7 as well. I think this is a race where you'll find 3 or 4 of these horses going around in good group races going forward. I'm going to go with Sway Neste with Sam McNabb's claim, gets him with the 58. I think that's a really nice weight. I think Hanky Alpha at best is in the mix. Have a crack. You've spoken about Mr Fortress, Charm Rose. Good race, but Swaney's day, I think this is the time for that horse into its next preparation when it showed so much last time.
Okay, you might have given us a winner and the trifecta there. Swains like it right from the bank builders. What about the trial files? Who have you found with the binos, Lee?
Heat 3, Taupo, Tomonachi. She's a horse that she just took off on Joe Dahl. He was a passenger. Look, she's come back big and strong, but she was doing pace work here, and it's something you want to see. And look, she's $6 in the futures market in the Telegraph. I know it's a weight for age, but she probably should have just about won one of those races last year down there. And by all accounts, she's come back big and strong. And I'm happy to have her for my multis in the Telegraph, $6.
I know you've loved her the whole way through too, Lee, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes. Despite Thad Taylor asking me to get Legato in for this section again, I've gone to the trials earlier on down south and have a look at Sunshine. This was a win and a half. Terry Ray trains Michael Guerin's colours, and this was just a walk in the park. Scores by 7, looks to be a really exciting prospect. Some nice trialists that day as well.
I'm going to go to Taupo in heat number 14. I think you could probably highlight the whole trial. They're in some pretty good time. Lovegrove is the filly by Vadamos. That's in front for Pam Gerard. El Lorena, watch that. The filly by Wooten Bassett out wide. It is smoking to the line. All too bold for Ben and Ryan is going to come down the outside as well. And even the lock runner was pretty good. But winner's good. I wonder about the second and the 4th horse going forward.
Okay, so that is the trial files for the week. Here is a summary. Tomodachi for Leith, Sunshine for Aiden, and Bevan's given you 3, but on top there, Love Grove, who was the trial winner. From our trial files, we're going to take another quick break, and don't go too far though. Off the other side, we'll be taking in all the action from the River City. Welcome back in. We're concentrating in now on the action out of the River City. So getting to you, Bevan Sweeney, we had a beautiful day there last Saturday. What about this weekend?
At the present moment, soft 7. Now, they did put a lot of irrigation on post-Saturday. I think it was 28 mils going on. There is some rain forecast sort of late today and through Friday. Look, it won't take much to improve. It's been that dry around the place, and the temperatures in Whanganui have been up almost at the top of the country in the last couple of days. So won't take a lot of drying. Soft 7 at the present moment, which is where they probably had to get it to with the irrigation. It'll just depend how much rain falls. But I think all in all, Pip, it'll be okay.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the feature, race number 8 on the program, the Steel Form Roofing Group Whanganui Cup here, where Tobias is the open favourite at $5.50, above the clouds, $6.50. Are you surprised with how this market's shaped up, Sweets?
I'm not sure who made this market up, but they must have been seeing a forecast that I haven't seen, because $5.50 around Tobias, who's a good horse, there's no doubt about that, but he generally needs a lot of cut out of the track against horses like the Odyssey's form, Doodle's form, A-Team's form. Royal Flower won the lead up. Look, it's madness that he's $5.50, absolute madness and favourite.
Yeah, look, obviously a little bit surprising as well. He's had 12 starts and he's won 1 race on a good track. But look, he's in okay form at the moment. This is a race where there's probably 4 leaders. I just think it just maps perfectly for a horse to get off the speed here. Maybe Battle Secret. The Odyssey with 59 kilos. I can't really have them this week. Doddle from a back marker. If there's really strong tempo, she's going to map to get a nice run in the race.
Yeah, it's an interesting map. It's quite a messy one. Looking at it as well, but I've got to agree with Bevan. Like, it really surprised me around Tobias. Like the best runs from this horse are heavy. All 3, you know, that's the peak runs. So, you know, it just means that maybe this is a race where you can bet around the favourite and find some value.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's take a look at the first video we want to highlight, and it is a par with Jack and Shibway here. And of course, Shibway led and stuck on really nicely, but Jack was doing his best work late here over the mile.
Yeah, obviously it's a really good lead-up race, this. Shibway was good, nice sort of economical run in front. Power Jack was really strong to the line. Look, just at the weights, I don't know. I thought Shibway was pretty well weighted this rate at 54 kilos. Sperrier 12, sort of maps to sort of sit outside leader.
Yeah, it's definitely some sort of chance in here. Just I think weights are all important here. You're going to see some horses who are dropping significantly from when we saw them last time, so that's just something you're going to have to factor in.
Look, this market won't stay like this. There's not a chance in Hades that these prices are going to hold up. Orlov was in that race. Look, he ran second in the race last year. He always runs fantastically at the River City. Second up for David Howarth. We know he's a good horse. He's sitting at $19, this horse. You're never sure what Copa is going to do, stepping up over Trip. He's at $23. Look, he's won a big mile down south. You've mentioned to Shibway. Royal Flower at 53.5 kilos is at $14. Look, I can't understand this market, and it will not stick like this. If you want to have a bet into this market, fly into it, because there is value all across the race book, and you're going to get a price that you shouldn't be getting.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've already seen that money around this runner we're going to highlight too, and that is Doddle coming out of the Group 2 Tauranga Stakes. Dark Destroyers in behind. But just on the mare here, I mean, she was really good. We've already said it was a day that they probably favoured on race pace, and she's finished in line with Ladies Man.
Yeah, and look, she's one of those runners that she's got to get to the outside, and I think the track at Whanganui is really going to suit her. Look, if they go too hard in front, Courtney's going to have, for 53 kilos, she is going to be bombing them down the outside, and I think she's massive overs at sort of 12s.
Yeah, she's won a Taupo Cup as well at 2,000 metres is 2,040. So, yeah, the weight difference here, like you're seeing her drop 4, Dark Destroyer out of that race dropped 6. He's a Group 1 winner. You know, if he returned to his very best form and now third run back, maybe he's getting somewhere near it. Yeah, so, again, it's a tricky race, but like you say, Bevan, you might be able to find some value somewhere.
And this is another horse, Leith identified it. That was an outstanding run. The horse has been good over ground in its past. Look, the Odyssey, without the 59 on its back, in my opinion, more than likely would have gone out favourite in this race. And I know weights are very important, but the Odyssey is a really good staying horse that's sort of leading itself to maybe some of the biggest staying races this season. So, yeah, it's just an interesting race. I do like a Doddle. I think that was a really good performance from that horse, and probably the real smoky coming down from the north.
Yeah, well, let's hear from her trainer, Stephen Marsh, as we get you back out to track work.
Yeah, really good. I thought her last start at the mile was good, attacked the line well. Up to the 2000 should be ideal. Usually they run a pretty quick sort of 2000 at Whanganui, which will suit her. If she can get a good draw, I think she can get a crack at some black type.
How's she prepared for this one?
Really well. She's bounced out of the mile good, hasn't missed a beat. She galloped on Tuesday. She'll have another little bit of 3/4 on Thursday, and she'll be ready to go.
What's giving you most confidence going into the weekend with her?
I think back up to the 2000, she won a Taupo Cup on a fast pace and a similar sort of conformation of track. And I think that fast pace up to the 2000, those runs under her belt, I think gives me a lot of confidence.
Yeah, no, he's come along good. He just had a slight issue after his last start, so we've treated that, and he looks like he's got over everything now, so we're looking forward to Saturday.
Was it just a wide draw that you didn't go to the Counties Cup last weekend, or what was the thinking there?
No, he's just had a little bit of inflammation on his throat, so we had no option but to pull him out, so we've cleared that up now, and he's looks like he's all on track.
What have you done with him in training leading into this weekend?
He had a good hit out yesterday, had a decent blow as well, but there's certainly not his target race Saturday, but we've got to get a run into him, so he'll likely go for sure.
Yeah, obviously he's going to be the top weight looking at those nominations. How much of a concern is that?
Yeah, well, it is what it is, I guess. It'd be nice if he could get a couple of kilos off his back, but having Jonathan Riddell on is going to help, not carrying a lot of dead weight, so and he's proven he can carry it, so I'm not too concerned.
Okay, so not his grand final, but they know he'll be there. We do need to get one in an open race. What you're liking, Leith? Who is it?
Yeah, look, St Kilda Lodge is my favourite barn, actually. I got a nice jacket from them the other day. Doddle, I think 53 kilos. They look maps to get a nice tempo. Back from 15s already to 12, so I'm happy to take Doddle this week.
I'm going to go Sailor Jack. I know it's got a wide gate, but I think they can sort of be really positive and overcome that. A horse who carried 61 after the claim in the Waipukaro Cup last time out, so drops 8 kilograms. For mine, a horse who's in decent form, I was happy to play Sailor Jack. It's not a race I'm going to play with a lot of confidence. Bevan, how about you?
I've had a late change of mind, actually. I was with all of it, crazy money, second up, but with that little bit of rain around, Royal Flower won the lead up with 56.5 on its back and drops down to 53. Look, the gate's going to be really niggly, but she loves a little bit of cut out of the track. She's clearly in good form, and she's been a great mare, and I think she can probably do it again. So I'll go with Royal Flower again. Stupid money.
Yeah, it's a race where if you like something, get on as we take you now to the O'Leary's Fillies race number 6 on the programme. And War Princess does head the betting at 340, narrowly from Lubeck at 350. And then you've got places to be on that third line of betting in single figures at $6. Leith, what about our speed? Who sets it up?
I think Lubeck leads from the inside gate. War Princess was ridden off the speed a little at Tauranga when she won, so I don't think they'll be hunting up as quite as what they used to. Places to be's got speed. Hey Dana, look, Mapakura, Fords will get back, but I think the map's pretty easy. Lubeck will lead from the inside gate. Okay, let's have a look at War Princess at Tauranga. She made it 2 in a row here, Sweens, and boy, she was impressive.
Well, I was actually sitting with Dids as this race jumped, and he said to me, no chance, she's got back, she's never done that. Then we just watched the race unfold. This was an enormous performance, and hard to see any horse turning this around on her, especially with the map. Lubeck probably leads, and she just goes and sits on the shoulder or one pair back from that. This was an awesome performance, and probably surprised Peter on the day, but boys, it's given Peter a lot more options just with the way this horse settled back.
Yeah, exactly. It gives them options. Look, that was her 4th win from 6 starts, but that was her best win. She was strong to the line. Her stride was better. I'd be surprised if they want to lead this week. It just showed you there, off the speed, she was probably better.
You know, I think they'll still be positive because, like, you know, if
Oh,
she
they'll
does
use their
jump
gate,
out,
but I'm
yeah.
just saying, look, in the past she's been leading or sit outside leader, and I know at Tauranga she was supposed to be up there on the speed, but it just showed you that she was better coming off the speed.
Yeah, she did a terrific run, no question. But there were good runs in behind her. Lubeck, terrific. Hasn't run worse than second so far in 4 starts. Looks to be a factor. And Marakopa Falls was good from the back as well. But I wanted to be with Lubeck here as much as possible. But in the end, I have set her on War Princess as my top selection in the race.
War Princess for me as well. Yeah, from barrier 2. She'll get a nice trip just in behind them, and I think she'll be winning on Saturday.
Oh, I can't knock those thoughts. She was outstanding last time. She's a winner, and she should be the winner again on Saturday.
Okay, that's a look at our 2 features. We want something else to back on the program, though. Lethal, who is it?
Race 5, Casino, barrier 2. She maps to get a nice run, and I think, you know, good value, should be winning on Saturday.
Let's go to the casino. I'm going with them. I'm going to the casino. What are we doing? Going to put it all on black?
Oh, just double down.
Okay, double down. There we go.
Double down on 11 all the time.
Right, yeah, there we go. Sweet.
Well, you'll only be using Lee's FPOS card, that's for sure. Well, I know that. Look, Casino, yeah, big chance. Hazel Mellor's down, lads. It's not the weakest race. My old fave, Procol Boys in there. One Bolt Jiggler, I thought a bit unlucky, and Coulthard's a nice horse, but Zul Mellor brings some pretty good form to the right race on Saturday at Whanganui at Whanganui in race number 7.
Okay, that completes our look at the River City. Now we're going to trek down the island a little bit and head to Otaki. We've got the Levin meeting there on Sunday, Sweens. Weather and track-wise, any rain around?
There's maybe a little less in the forecast, but it's hard to really ascertain what's going to hit. It is pretty humid and muggy, and there is a lot of thunderstorm activity forecast for the range. It's whether that gets to Otaki, not 100% sure, but it's a soft 7. They're supposed to get some rain again today, but we haven't been there since, look, it might be 8-9 weeks where they're on a heavy 10, which won't be in play on Sunday, clearly. But let's hope they just avoid it. It will race pretty nicely, I think, even with the rain that is about.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the feature, race number 7 on the program, the Jenny and Holmes at Wellington Stakes. And we do have Abacus, who heads the betting in the Group 3 at 480 from Sweet Talking Gal, and then Landman, Road to Paris. Anything you're really liking here in Sweens at a price?
I'm not 100% sure. Sierra Leone, she just can sit out there with someone else to tip her out. She got her beat last time into second. Look, Abacus is really finishing. She is a cracking looking mare now. She's getting better and better. Belzoni's going nice enough. And the Northerners come down. Road to Paris was a good last start winner. Savvy Super was good for Cody, its most recent performance. But again, it might be a bit deceiving, Leith, because Abacus got a very soft lead at Waverley last time, and that was the winning of the race.
Yeah, and in this race here, it looks like there's no sort of clear leader either, being a full field of 12. I'm not too sure. Abacus will probably maybe map to sit outside leader. Belzoni was there okay. Emirati led last start at Rotorua. So, look, it looks like there's going to be a nice genuine tempo. Road to Paris probably just sort of maps to be midfield.
Okay, well, let's take you back to Abacus, because just got a really nice lead on this occasion, and she did keep finding when Landman's had to try and come at her late. She just kept on kicking their Sweens to get the win.
Oh, look, she's a good quality mare. She's raced against some of her very, very best. Ride was perfect on the day. Landman was at home, and he's capable, but I'm not sure he breathes 100% Landman. But look, she's kept up a strong gallop. She's going to put herself forward at Whanganui, and that's a big advantage. So she's going clearly the right way.
Yeah, she is. Obviously, that was a deserved win. It was interesting, though. She wasn't actually in the early noms. She wasn't in the noms when they came out, so she was a late nom. So, look, I don't know if it was a second thought or they had another race planned, but look, obviously from barrier 7, she sort of does map to be handy.
One thing about it, she's run on a heavy track, and I'm not so sure that we're not going to get a lot of rain there, that we could actually see this being run on a heavy track even. So you look at her very best form. She's run second in a Wakefield at Group 2 level. She's run 6 in a Karaka Millions, beaten home a horse like Romanov, who's a Group 1 winner since. So her very best form, and she was good winning on a good track last time out. She's got tactical speed. There's a lot of upside around her. So, you know, maybe they've just looked at the field and thought this is a completely winnable race at group level for us.
Okay, well, Holly Winnard also has Sweet Talking Gal in the race. Let's see how she's tracking.
Yeah, she's flying. She's couldn't be happier with her, and I think the mile's really going to suit.
How's she prepared for this one?
Yeah, really good. Like, we've got to watch her a bit. She's a very good doer, so we've got to sort of keep the work up to her. But no, she's flying through her work, and couldn't be happier with her.
Obviously, she's racing really well too. What can you expect in that field, judging by noms?
Yeah, I mean, for a group race, I didn't think it was the strongest race in the world, and a couple of maidens in there too. So hopefully we're in there with a decent chance.
And she deserved this one here at New Plymouth. She looks like a really progressive little horse.
She does. Look, she was... honestly, this was a pretty weak sort of race. She mapped to get an easy sort of sit-outside leader. Look, the barrier one's going to help her. Look, she's going to be hard to beat. It's a winnable race for one of these horses, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we see that year in year, don't we?
Yeah.
So a horse who will just stand up and put themselves into contention for the rest of the season. She's going well. This is a step up, though, there's no question.
She'll cop a little bit of rain affected ground, I'd imagine. It was pretty firm that day at New Plymouth Lake. They were well clear of the remainder. It wasn't an overly strong race, as Leith mentioned. However, she just got the job done, and she hadn't had a lot of luck behind Belle Chevelle, Yamato Satana, her pretty good form lines for this race.
And then we've also got a horse in this we have to talk about in Road to Paris, and Aidan did catch up with Rob Wellwood around him.
Road to Paris, he's a last start winner over 1400. He's a really nice horse. I think the mile's going to suit him. He's a lovely, relaxed horse, and hopefully we can draw well. And again, the weather plays its part. There looks to be maybe a little bit of rain Sunday down there, but he probably handles some cut.
How's he gone on since that last win?
Yeah, really good. He's in great order. We haven't done a lot with him at home. He's a pretty fit horse, but again, he deserves a spot in the race, and we're going to learn a lot more about him on the weekend.
Let's have a look at him at Avondale. He was backed as favourite here, second up, and he looks like a super impressive gelding.
Yeah, he's a nice big horse too. He's got a bit of scope about him. Look, their team's flying at the moment. He had to do a little bit here. I know there's a couple here. Night Wolf ran second yesterday at Tiaraha, so he's got past him late. But he's just improved. You see these horses come out of a maiden win, and sometimes they just keep going to another level, and I think this horse will.
Just the manner of this performance.
Yeah.
It just says, I'm a good horse.
Yeah.
It's just one that you just expect him to bounce through that.
I hope it doesn't get too wet down there.
Yeah. I think maybe this isn't the be-all and end-all of the season as well. I think he's got lots to look forward to coming up, especially after Christmas.
Yeah, coming out of an Avondale race, I'm not sure it's going to really crank up into this, but clearly a horse has got a bit of stretch and length to it, who really did finish off very, very strongly. But I'm going to go, I was with Abacus at Waverley. I'm going to stick with Abacus because it's got the form lines, I think, behind Cream Tart, Tajana, and not too far off them at Trentham, Ellerslie, and was at Taupo from memory against some of the better fillies at its fresh up effort. So, look, she's been amongst them. She's got that tactical advantage of having a bit of gate speed. So I'll go with her. The 1600 metres certainly might be interesting on what we saw at Waverley.
Thought you might have taken Sierra Leone down the bottom there, Sweens. It would be a great race for her to win a break at Maiden Duck. But, look, I think you might have to go up to Avondale one day and have a look at some of those quality horses up there. And I think Road to Paris this week, I think he'll be going close to winning.
I thought you tried to drag him along to the races there one day.
Yeah, he didn't want to go.
No,
it's a good place to go to sometimes on a Wednesday.
Well, you guys have picked my top two selections in the race, but I have gone the way of Abacus, narrowly ahead of Road to Paris. I thought they were the two in contention here.
Okay, so from the Wellington Stakes, we're now going to have a look at race number 5 on the program. This is the Levin Stakes, sponsored by the Levin Truck Services, and Platinum Attack, of course, didn't get to take his start on Cup Day there down at Riccarton. He's your favourite at $3.60. Dealt with those back in contention as well at $4.80 this season. And then you've got I'm a Brazen One on that third line of betting at $5.50. Let's take you to Platinum Attack and the Pegasus Stakes. Not much to say here, Sweens. He was just way too good.
Oh, he's a jet when he gets these sort of conditions. It's a different killer of fish at Otaki, isn't it? Tight turning track. He's got a reasonable sort of gait, and he has got the manners to probably put himself in a position. He's a winner at the course. Look, he's the best sprinter in this field. There's no doubt in my mind about that. If the tactics are correct and Craig's aboard from that gate, he should be winning again. Yeah,
look, I think it's going to come down to the track conditions. I like this horse here, Dealt with. He's come back big and strong. Obviously, he was supposed to run in the slot race last year. He's flying this horse. Both those two replays, it's going to come down to track conditions. But we've dealt with the low weight, 53 kilos, barrier 1, where race looks like there's a little bit of tempo. I thought he was going to take a little bit of beating.
Yeah, well, what happens if we do get a rain affected trait? So they like scratched out of the stewards with the Platinum Attack, and if it's going to be like that, then will we even see him go around? And does that bring Azizel into it, who was terrific in running second in the Pegasus? I agree, dealt with as a high quality horse. So it's an interesting race. If this was run on a firm deck, I don't know if they'd see which way Platinum Attack ran.
I agree. Diltwood's a real follow going forward. You won't see a horse trial better than that, but Platinum Attack's been to the races. He was going just as well behind the scenes. I know Johnny Riddell was struggling to hold him in track. We went down there, blew him off the racetrack. Things haven't gone right, but he's well travelled now. He was down there last season. I think he'll cope with it. He'll cope with the weight. Look, if it's a good deck, he'll be winning.
Yeah, he should be. I'll be waiting to Sunday, sort of about 2:30, to see how that track is playing. But I really like Deltworth. If the track's in that sort of soft 5, good 4, I think he definitely can win. Yeah,
I'd put mine through before really having a deep look into that forecast. And I'm with Platinum Attack. I think he's the horse to beat. But, geez, that forecast doesn't look too good for Platinum Attack's racing style.
Yeah, let's hope that changes. That completes our look at Levin. Now we're going to try and build you a bank to cover all of the races over the weekend. So, Lethal, who have you got for us?
I'm going to go early again. Pip, race 2, 2 down Sweet. I think that Rotorua form will stack up this week. And, look, I think she's a good winning chance.
I'm going to get down to day 1 at Cromwell, first day at the Fruit Bowl. So a horse there who really impressed me last time out at Riccarton, Sperimento, who goes around in race 3. I thought the run was terrific against the race shape. You've got Tene Komanyagi doing the riding. Horse who's just knocking on the door. I think it's this weekend where we see, obviously it's a terrific meeting down there, Cromwell, 2-day meeting, Friday, Sunday. I'm going day 1 with Sperimento.
I'm going to go in the Maid of Stars, which is not really the greatest thing to be doing. But Snowflake, I know they were very keen at Waipukurau around this horse over ground. There was a slight niggle, goes over ground again. That will be in race number 3 out of Whanganui. It's the right race. We'll get every opportunity to be winning on Saturday.
Okay, like it. And you go playing 3 different meetings there with our bank builders as we take you to a break now. Don't go too far. Best bets up on the other side. Welcome back in. It's time for our best bets, but before we tell you those, we have to get the wash up from last week and have a look at what happened and our leaderboard. Obviously, I'm still leading. Just Lethal, though.
Yeah, making
one, though. Sister Sugar, congratulations. But what happened on the actual day? You changed.
I put my selections in early, Pip, when the track was going to be a little bit off. And, yeah, look, it's not a sprint, it's a staying race, and just making them slowly run race.
Exactly. You got the win regardless. You got it right for the form. Don't worry about the big Saturday views.
Yeah. Sweens, do we call you a groomsman? Just keep getting seconds.
Yeah, back mine each way. That's what I'd say. Because they can run second. They definitely can run second, but hopefully this week. But
yeah, let's hope that changes. Let's see if we can get some more winners from our trainers as well as we see what they're liking this weekend.
Actually got a little 2-year-old kicking off, does everything really right, very professional, but I'm going in there with 1 trial, but if she can sort of run top 3, I'll be pretty happy with her.
What's her name?
Andalusia.
Yeah, I probably won't go to the stakes race. I think Santa Catalina, she ran a really good second last start over 2400, slightly in season. She's just a little bit angry in the race, sort of pulled a little bit more than what she normally does, but she's good at the moment. So she should be tough to beat.
Moss invited to go 1 better, went enormous fresh up, and he's gone the right way since and loves Ellerslie.
We'll go Trust Alone.
Look, a few chances on Saturday. I'm going to stick with Happy M Zone. I think he's due a winning turn.
We'll go to Ellerslie, Swanniest Day.
Have a crack goes round, so looking forward to it. Bringing good form, a little bit of time between runs, but excited about this horse.
Look, the way he's going, I just couldn't go past Elvencador.
Only got 1 in, so it'll have to be Afterglow.
On Sunday, Otaki, a 2-year-old called Kinnaird. He's by Home Affairs and he's very promising.
I'm really happy with Beetlegoose, Otaki 65 mile. He unfortunately his gate opened the other day, so he jumped and went round as a non-starter. So but he's really well and happy. He had to get up this morning as well, so I'm really happy with him.
I'm going to have to go with Fossey. She's actually our only runner, but she's been incredibly unlucky her last 2 starts. So, she's definitely a great chance.
Probably have to go her. Flamenco's got to find some form. I mean, Flamenco, she's a very good track worker and always shows a lot, so I'd like to see her put her hand up. But, we'll go Sweet Talking Gal.
There you go, plenty of runners to follow this weekend. These will be on socials as well if you don't have time to take a screenshot, because there's plenty to get through, including, of course, the leg up versus the form challenge. And unfortunately, Thad just got that win with Queen Zoo in the last to get the win over Bevan. So the pressure's on you, Leith. We need to get back on top.
Yeah, look, I've had a little bit of a team meeting with my 2 panellists, and look, you had...
Have a crack.
Have a crack, and Sweeney had Sweeney stay, so I put off Hanky Alpha in there as well, and we'll just have a straight out box fixed exacta to beat Mawadi's team this week.
There you go, like it, eh? A bit of a teamwork, hopefully, to get over the line.
Well, if I lose, I can blame the other team. So I've hedged my bets a little bit.
There you go, very smart there. So there you go, $100 box to exacta. Let's fingers crossed it gets up. Time now, though, for our best bets. Yes, brought to you by My Race or So. It's showtime, and Lethal, who have you got for us?
I'm going to take you to Whanganui on Saturday. Pippa, undisputed. He gets up to a distance of a mile. Race to $3. Look, he hasn't had too much luck his last couple of runs, and look, I think that Robert Wellwood and Roger James' team, they've got a stack of winners this week. Just backed them all weekend.
You saw my -12, so I need a confidence boost. So I'm taking you to the feature at Ellerslie for mine.
Vincador.
Go with Vincador, yeah.
$1.65
on the odds surge. So you're getting the odds surge.
Not on our show, you only get the $1.65.
Come on, we're taking the extra money. So I'm going with the big EV. Sweens, I know I haven't been too brave, but what have you got for us?
Oh, A-Rod. Moeka Bell, up over ground, first time this preparation, censored timing. I think this horse is tough to beat in the first. I thought one of you boys was with Fosse. I think Fosse will win as well. First time over ground this weekend as well. But I'll stick with Moeka Bell, first up over ground in the first.
And I'm taking you to the last out of Ellerslie, Rise Companion. He's got some raw ability this gelding. He's got a few little quirks to work out, but boy, he was good when winning last start at Te Araha. And I think he can do it again if Massa can get him into a good position there. So that's my best bet. And he's paying around $7.50 currently too in that market with Golden Wings in it. Here is a summary. The Wales with Black Beauty at Alexandra Parker on Friday. There is the rest of ours. Al Vencedor, Rise Companions, Undisputed, and Maya Cabell. And that does complete the form for another week. As always, team, it's been an absolute pleasure. We've got to get going. Good luck to you all taking a punt this weekend.